terms of how many people here actually ever think about their relationship with money? Who actually realises they have a relationship with money?
All the time. In one hand, out the other.
Yeah. Okay. So you all know that there's something going on, and is it a priority for anybody here to actually improve that relationship? Yeah. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story in a minute, and I want you to start thinking as I do that about how what I say might apply to you. It might be completely different, but I really want you to start thinking about your own relationship with money in terms of what you notice turning up as a sort of a repeating pattern or a habit. You kind of think, well, why am I doing that again? I don't understand it. That kind of thing, so that you're applying it to yourself in the right. I don't know if it's fortunate. I thought it was fortunate at the time, but I grew up. I did have a maiden aunt who died and left all of us a lot of money. I had a private income. Dad was a consultant, hematologist, and we had a nice, comfortable middle class life. And so consequently, I became detached from money, and I actually never learned how to earn it properly. And that was a real wake-up call for me when I went into business, because it was a long time before I realised that was what had happened. But so I went into business because I left the children's father. The children were quite little; they were 3 and 6 a few years ago when I left, and I wanted the consistency of being around them. I wanted the flexibility. I wasn't quite sure where the support was going to come from, so I thought, well, to make it certain, I would do it myself and I'd go into business. And that was a great idea, and I'm really glad I was as naive as I was, because I wouldn't have learnt as much as I did, and I would possibly have gone and found a job, except that I hadn't had a conventional job for a very long time. So there was a lot for me to learn all at once. I had no corporate or proper job experience. I think I did some secretarial work in my early 20s. And then for the next few years, I did unusual things like travelling around the world for 4 years on a motorbike with my husband. And then the children's father was a sheep farmer, so my previous job was sheep farming before I became a coach. So I had to learn quickly, and I had to learn vertically. But what I noticed as I was learning was, not coming from an entrepreneurial family, I then began to watch things like Dragon's Den and The Apprentices, things like that, and sort of soak up how people were making money, and it became really obvious to me pretty quickly that I didn't have the same approach to money as these people who were making money did, and I thought I'd better do something about it. So I sorted it out, and then you're feeling good about it. And if for any reason you can't pay the whole bill straight away, have that conversation and say, this is what I've got, this is what I can pay you, and then it's sorted. And your integrity with money. Where are you, or might you be unaware, probably, of where you're in denial about something? Pretending things are better than they are, because that's a real key to being totally out of alignment and preventing more of it coming to you. I pretended everything was all right, because it wasn't all right. I was a struggling single mother for quite a long time, and it was only when I sort of owned up to that to myself. I can post it on Facebook. Where you're unconscious of certain things going on in your life, where perhaps you've got that funny feeling, you're not feeling really cool, you're not feeling really confident with what's going on. You're full control of just one thing, and that one thing changed everything. What would it be? Because when you get to that, that's when you'll really be unlocking the key, unlocking that lock, allowing money to flow properly. Realistic, and sort of living in hopefulness. A lot of people teach, and it's quite paradoxical, but a lot of people teach sort of acting as if, and I think that works to a degree, but you can't do it too much. You can do it with feeling successful. I don't think you can't act as if. Like, don't give money away if you haven't got it to give, because I really don't believe that's going to bring more to you. I really don't, because it's only going to put you more deeply into that place of not having it. So it's no good just walking down the road pretending that you've got it. If you haven't got it, and somebody says, let's go out for a meal, and you think, it's okay, if I do this, it'll be fine, it'll all come in. No, excuse me, bollocks, it won't. You need to be really, really honest and sensible about where you are if times are tough. Your money possibly, or who you might owe money. Some of these are loose ends, which are just real energy leaks around money. And think about your money story. What do you hear your parents saying? And she was, her income's been quite tight, and she's started a new business relatively recently, and her friends are used to her being sort of low income and struggling. Well, her business is going to take off, and that was a big block for her, because she knew she was going to be going to much higher income levels than the people she's been used to. They'll still be friends, but it's just going to change things, and so that was one of her big blocks.